Hey, babe, I've been thinking about you nonstop today. Actually, ever since last night. It's almost impossible to put into words how unforgettable that evening was. I can still feel the warmth of your presence, your laughter echoing inside my mind, the look in your eyes whenever you smiled at me. It was one of those nights that doesn't just come and go. Instead, it settles deep into your heart, creating a memory so vivid you can practically taste it every time you think about it. I wanted to start by telling you just how special you made me feel. There's this sense of wholeness, of complete joy, that washed over me the moment I realized how much of an impact you had on my heart. It's like waking up to the first rays of sun after a stormy night, comforting, warm, and filled with promise. Even now, recalling that feeling sends little sparks of excitement through me, and all I can do is thank you for being the person you are. But as powerful as that memory was, as deeply as it's etched into my mind, it's not the only reason I wanted to talk to you today. There's something else, something so big, so significant, that I've been practically bursting at the seams to share it. I think it's going to take your breath away, and I can't wait to see your reaction when you hear it. Let me give you a bit of background. I've been watching you, observing you, soaking in your essence, and marveling at how vibrant your energy is. You might not even realize it, but your personality, the warmth of your presence, the kindness in your heart, and the quiet strength that emerges whenever life throws challenges your way is something extraordinary. Every time I look at your pictures, I'm reminded of all the reasons I cherish you. There's something about seeing your face, capturing a moment in time, that makes me want to celebrate you every single day. And celebrate you I did. A few days ago, this idea popped into my mind. Why not share those cherished snapshots of you with my family? It was a spur of the moment inspiration, the kind that starts as a whisper in the back of your mind and then grows until you can't ignore it anymore. At first, I was a bit nervous. You know how it goes. Introducing someone's image to your family can be a big deal. Families have opinions, sometimes they surprise you, and sometimes you brace yourself for a reaction you might not want to hear. But I'm learning that sometimes you have to follow your heart even when it's racing. There was this pull in me, a kind of certainty, that told me it was the right thing to do. So, picture this. I'm sitting in the living room with my family. My mom is there, quietly sipping on a cup of tea. She's always been a little introspective, the poetic type who loves to read and daydream. My siblings are scattered around, talking over one another, playfully bantering, the way siblings do. My dad's in his favorite armchair, flipping through a newspaper, not really looking for anything in particular, just enjoying the ritual of reading. The scene is cozy, familiar, the kind of atmosphere that makes you feel at home. I take out my phone. My heart is pounding just a little, and I say, "Hey, I want you guys to see something." And then I show them your pictures. In that split second before anyone speaks, it's as if the entire room stills. The air feels thick with anticipation. Then my mom lifts her eyes, focuses on the screen, and I watch her expression shift from casual curiosity to something that feels almost awestruck. She sets down her tea, leans forward, and says quietly, "This is sheer beauty captured in a frame." Now, my mom isn't usually at a loss for words, but the way she said it, the soft wonder in her voice, I can't begin to describe how that made me feel. It was as if she saw exactly what I see when I look at you, that undeniable spark, that gentle yet powerful presence that radiates from you. Then come my siblings. They can be a bit rowdy at times, but they're always honest, which is why I value their opinions so much. They suddenly gather around me, peering over my shoulder to get a better look. One of them exclaims, "Her?" or his smile could light up any room. while the others nod in passionate agreement. They're pointing at your photos, pointing out the details that caught their eyes, the curve of your lips, the brightness in your gaze, the comforting aura that seems to emanate from you even in a still image. It's so heartwarming that I can feel my chest swell with pride. After all, these are the people who know me best, and hearing their honest admiration for you was like receiving a gift I hadn't even known I was waiting for. Finally, there's my dad, quiet, reserved, and not one to speak at length about his feelings. He studies your picture for a few seconds, and I can see he's taking it all in. Then, in that gentle yet firm tone of his, he says, "There's a rare grace in this picture." That simple phrase means more to me than I can explain, because I know he doesn't compliment lightly. If something touches him enough to speak up, especially about aesthetics and impressions, then it must be truly special. And that, babe, is exactly what you are. But here's the twist. It wasn't just about your outer beauty, although they definitely noticed how stunning you are. No, what truly resonated was the sense of kindness, depth, and warmth that radiates from you. It's the intangible glow that can't be staged or posed for. Sometimes people say a photo captures your soul. In this case, I think your photos really do. And my family got to see a glimpse of why you mean so much to me. It's almost as if they could read your heart right through the screen. In that moment, as the excitement washed over me, I realized something important. I've never been so eager to share another person with my family. I've introduced friends or acquaintances before, and sure, they might have said, "Oh, he or she seems nice," or "cool, would love to meet them." But this time was different. This time, it felt like unveiling a cherished treasure, something so precious that you hold your breath, hoping the people you love most in the world will cherish it too. And they did, completely. We ended up talking about you for hours afterward, long after the initial reveal. The conversation circled back to you again and again, not in a casual, by the way kind of manner, but with genuine curiosity and warmth. I heard questions like, "What's her favorite hobby?" Or, "What goals does he have for the future?" Or, "Does she know how deeply you care about her?" And each time I answered, I was met with more smiles, more nods of approval, more anticipation of the day they get to meet you in person. That night, when everyone finally went to bed, I just sat there in the living room for a while, letting it all soak in. The memories from our incredible evening together interwove with the events of the day. It felt like everything was aligning in the most beautiful way. You know how sometimes life gives you these tiny glimpses of perfection, these moments that you wish you could freeze and come back to whenever you need a reminder that magic exists? That's exactly what it felt like. It made me think about how every step I've taken has led me to you, and how thankful I am that we crossed paths. When I woke up the next morning, my mind was still buzzing with excitement. That's when I decided, I can't keep this to myself. I have to tell you all about it. You deserve to know how people see you, especially the people closest to me. You deserve to know how cherished you are, not just by me, but by those who share my life. You have this magnetism that draws people in, and your photos alone were enough to let them glimpse the magnitude of your spirit. Now, there's another part of this story that's been unfolding, one that's equally significant, but in a completely different realm: your finances. You might be wondering how this ties in, but trust me, it's all connected to the sense of discovery and growth that's been permeating our lives lately. When we feel love and support, we often find the courage to pursue our dreams more boldly, including our financial ambitions. Lately, I've been sensing a shift in your energy, a sort of momentum building around your finances. Maybe you felt it too, that little nudge pushing you to look at your goals, your resources, and your potential with fresh eyes. It's not just about the numbers in a bank account, it's about the way you view yourself and your capacity to create abundance. Sometimes, this kind of shift comes right on the heels of personal revelations, like seeing how loved and valued you are, and realizing you have even more to offer the world. The cards, or the signs, or whatever method resonates with you for guidance, seem to indicate a steady but important transition in your financial life. It's like watching the tide slowly come in. First, you see little ripples, then the waterline gradually moves closer, and before you know it, the entire shoreline has transformed. In the same way, your financial path is urging you to focus on what makes you feel strong, capable, and confident. There might be outside conflicts or negative voices. Sometimes they manifest as fear, sometimes as worry, sometimes as well intentioned advice that ends up planting seeds of doubt. It's easy to get dragged into other people's anxieties or succumb to your own fears. But right now, the message is clear. You have an opportunity to center yourself. Find that place of calm inside you where you know, without a doubt, that you can accomplish great things. I sense there's a boldness stirring within you. Maybe you've been contemplating a risky move, starting a new venture, investing in something close to your heart, or changing careers altogether. Yet whenever you consider taking that step, a little voice inside makes you hesitate. That hesitation, more often than not, arises from fear. Not your conscious, rational fear of something truly dangerous, but a deeper, sometimes inherited fear, one that might have come from past experiences or from family beliefs about money. Perhaps there's a part of you that remembers a time when finances were tight, when choices were limited, and that memory has lingered like a quiet echo, warning you to tread carefully. Or maybe you grew up hearing phrases like money doesn't grow on trees, or be cautious, you don't want to lose everything you've saved. These messages, even when given with good intentions, can become internalized. They can hold you back from seizing opportunities that could dramatically enhance your life. To move forward, you need to confront that fear directly. Ask yourself, what do I truly want from my finances? Is it freedom? The kind of freedom that allows you to live life on your own terms without constantly worrying about bills or unexpected expenses? Or is it security? The comfort of knowing you have a stable foundation beneath you, so no matter what storms come, you won't be shaken? Maybe it's the joy of abundance, the ability to help not just yourself, but also loved ones or even strangers who need a hand. The important thing is to be honest with yourself about what resonates in your heart. Once you figure that out, the next step is to stop resisting the changes you already sense you need to make. Trust that inner spark pushing you toward a grander vision of your life. That spark isn't random.